Mixu in the south side playing as the Vanguards.
Man, I am going to be so excited when I can have a smooth pan in, the ability to rotate my camera, because right now, player intros feel weird. Anyways, in the upper right, in the red, the man with some really weird, interesting, very fun builds. He's the Celestial player. It's Auriel. And what is in store for us? We're sitting here. It's Islet Red. There are no V5 launchers. There is no weird quad siege cam push available. This is, of course, it is also versus Vanguard, like we saw against Percival. What is in store for us in this best of 3? Do you have? I got no ideas.
I mean, like, so if you want to be big brain, would it be something involving the energy tower, maybe? I'm trying to think what you could do here, because we know Auriel likes to get crafty. He's an out-of-box thinker. It reminds me of, was it Kiwi, and I think, that discovered the double breakthrough and Jagged Maw in the early days? Like that type of strategy. So maybe he's got someone cooked up for us. He is going for the upgrade of the Arc Ship to the Arc Station straight away. We've usually seen a lot of players open up in this map just using the Arc Ship to immediately take the creep camp.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? So, of course, that's the big change, where now you can't go and cast Sovereign Watch unless you're within 15 range of, technically, I think there's a bug right now, but within 15 range of a completed collection array. So, on the flip side, you can actually cast it on a moving Arc Station, which means that you can go and cast it and then move it in and take that first camp. Now, that's not what we're seeing, but yeah, we're seeing the Seraphim rush again. I think this makes so much sense, given how much more valuable creep camps are now compared to what they were before the patch. Now it's a lot of money. It really gives you that skyrocketing power. And the second thing about this Killer Pigeon is that on top of it being a lot more money, they're a little bit easier to take, which the big deal there is it has given specifically Infernal players, but a lot more power to these units that are able to go and sweep the map early. So you're kind of leapfrogging this timing where, well, by the time maybe you can get out with other units, there's nothing really there.
But there is an interesting pivot coming the other side from BeoMulf. So I was going to say, BeoMulf is an interesting word. It's deep in the night. There was already a read by Mixu. Check his base. He's got a mech bay. He's already playing the Hedgehogs, which they're pretty damn good, like, denial on these creep camps, right? Like, I think they did buff the deploy since, like, the start of the year. It feels a lot more fluid now, whereas you might remember in the early days, it felt very static. Like, you couldn't really use it to react. You had to be set up or you just died. But Hedgehogs now, I feel like they are a good blocker as long as you have a read on the creep pattern that the Seraphim are rotating towards. Yeah,
and man, it's funny you talk about like creep camp rotations. Very much a MOBA idea here showing up, but it's a thing. Especially as, again, these creep camps become more important if that's a mode they decide to put it in a position, situation where they decide to kind of keep things at. And for my brothers, I do prefer the game of Stormgate when creep camps are something that force you to be on the map, that force you to interact a little bit more, because again, last patch, you didn't see that as much. It was just like, okay, well, we are here and we're going to take the creep camps eventually. They're nice, but it's kind of whatever. And notice again, because Seraphim, they take 50% HP, they actually kill the creeps really nicely. You can take these camps that no one else can take in the early game. These bruisers, 675 HP, they do a ton of damage, but you get 5 Seraphim on the map, all of a sudden, you got multiple resource camps available. Now as the scouts around, the Hedgehogs around, that's not great, but it's 2 Hedgehogs, and they're going to have to spend time to deploy, undeploy. The Seraphim, this composition in this game state, when you're not doing anything else, is actually pretty nice. It's just diving on top of the Hedgehogs. It's only 2 Hedgehogs. They will not sustain this pressure.
No, and even if you deploy them occasionally, like as long as Auriel is kind of shifting out the injured ones to the back of the formation, you won't get the snipes. Instead, gets to deny here, goes in the Lumi camp. Perfect time there. Power bank as well. And the Hedgehogs are still alive. It looks like some focus fire wasn't really in there. He's hitting most of the dogs. So we'll be shift away on the other side. Bit of a miss micro though. Mixu is going to lose one of those Hedgehogs. A difficult unit to scale fast at this stage of the game.
Dude, Mixu just got so much though. Are you kidding? He just not only he canceled a collection array, and then when the Morph Core pops back up, make it again, he killed the collection array. That is so much money that Auriel has just lost off of this. And yes, again, you do have these creep camps, and he would really like to claim this resource camp that he's cleared out for this. But Mixu just swept Auriel from the map. That is so much value on the map that is just not really available to him anymore. So we can see this in the supply. Yeah, there are a lot of Seraphim. Mixu's up about 20 supply. He's taken the energy camp on the north side. He's taken 2 healing camps. He's taken this Luminite camp as well. He had so much money, and he's denied so much money from Auriel.
And he has something else coming. On the secondary base, he set up hangers. We've got Hornet spam now on the way. And guess what? Auriel hasn't even checked for it. He's so busy focused on the main right now, so troops are getting in the way. Hedgehogs are coming home. If he shifts across, he can easily hold where the hangar bays are set up. Sure, it costs him, but there's already been a bigger expense on the other side. That means that Auriel isn't economically ahead.
Yeah, no,
Hedgehogs.
Man. Hedgehogs here, mass repair. Yeah, no, that is not. It is nice economic damage. This is like 6 or 7 mobs going. Oh, there's like 6 or 7 mobs going down. Like, that's reasonable, and even through the overcharge. Yeah, I think Auriel's just realized, okay, well, who cares about the Hornets?
Wait,
I can kill so much of this economy.
Yeah, but not just that. Mixu, he missed micro there. There was a Hornet just on a coffee break for basically the entire fight. Had that been in there, I think you get like 2 extra Seraphim kills, and you keep maybe 2 extra workers alive. So does survive it. Supply tells the story though, right? He's ahead. You've got to keep in mind there is a raid coming in from dogs. That's right. We're a few minutes in this game, and scouts are deleting the start point of Auriel right now.
Man, it's so funny. Cast them with Age of Empires people. I'm like, it's a run by. Okay, gotcha. Because it's the same concept. We have very different ideas about what we call the same concept. But man, 3 Hornets on the field versus. Okay, well, you do have the Arc Ship. You do have that healing potion, for lack of a better term, that ability to heal, and, it does get canceled. But yeah, Hornets outfight this in the extreme. Now, Argent's on the ground. They handle that a little bit better. But, man,
yeah, but
Hornets are so
can't
fast.
fly. That's the thing, right? Like, you have to go across the trees and look at the snipes now coming in. The focus fire is there. I think he's even got a bubble dome to work with this stage, right? So, and I think that's what Auriel's afraid of, is he knows if he tries to go on this injured Hornet, she could get bubbled up, eventually could just go home. Instead, it's going to be a forfeiture. Creation Chamber does go down. Argents have at least now a ride, but against this many scouts, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
This is where we start. What was the player that maybe believes three impossible things before breakfast?
Anime music activate.
There we go.
Alexa, play hour-long anime track. Oh god, and it might just be a wipe here. I mean, the Argent count just doesn't feel big enough. The damage is being absorbed by the scouts. That's perfect here. It means you win the air battle, and then you can come from the land.
Yeah, or of the sea, I guess, in this case. 3 if by land, 2 if by sea, or something like that. And certainly the Hornets, they don't care. You can be in the water, you can be in the land, you can be in the air. At this point, there are so many of them, and they're so heavily promoted that there is just...
Oh my...
Yeah.
Where did these guys come from? These hedgehogs have just been sitting here like happy campers the entire time. GG comes in. Mixu, relentless aggression. 6 sneak on the second base for the air transition. For game number 2, it's Boneyard time. Auriel in the north side. The map that he wanted as the Celestials. The one that could offer him the cheesy strategy. But is Mixu just going to simply be ready for it? It's time to find out.
I don't know, but he is opening with that again. We're seeing that very quick Therium Purifier. There's the... Oh, no. Okay, no, he's getting more. He is getting a second Morph Core. But
yeah.
He's still moving. And you know what? I think this is still the same thing. Maybe one more Morph Core than he got last time. I don't remember.
Because last time he was upgraded to... I think he was upgraded to Arc Station already last time, right? So like, this is definitely delayed.
I don't know.
Creation Chamber down... It might have just been the positioning, but like I feel like the Arc Station was upgrading very early, so we might have a slight adaptation. Keep in mind, there's already a Lancer play coming out, so we've already got camp play coming in very early for Mixu. And I don't know if he's seen this strategy yet. We've already seen Auriel in one series try this, and his timing was grimly unfortunate. But this time, it's gone unnoticed.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, again, we have that. We're gonna see this go down. Arc Ship is just about turning into an Arc Station. So we should be there fine. And you know what? The one thing I don't like about this, and I don't think it's fair to say that I don't like it, but I think it is a little dicey, is that you have a lot of wasted time to get up into this setup. You're just in this situation where, yeah, you're teching here, but we are a solid, I don't know, 2 minutes in, maybe something like that.
Yeah, like I think also maybe he went earlier so he didn't get spotted, but it feels inefficient just sitting there with the call for that long, right? I mean, Legion Halls do at least build quite quick. And now the first Seraphim is on the way. And in fairness, Mixu, he's going to the mech bay. So he understands what this is going to be again. He will have the Hedgehogs out in time. And something we did notice last time Auriel done this, you'd think he'd want to play the loose camps wide so he can't be caught. He tried to play central camps.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, again, I was going to say, yeah, on this map, okay, well, there's a lot more camps on the edges. You can go and kind of swing that around. But I guess that's not gonna happen. So in terms of anti-air for Mixu right now, he has just about nothing. He's building a sentry post, no biolab on the way, so he's not gonna... The only defense he's gonna have is with these hedgehogs as they start to pop out. But I guess what he's doing with his first Seraphim right now, at least what he was doing for a little bit, was to try to kind of follow these units on the map so he can go and actually get the creeps. But instead, no, it's going to be the energy camp, and that actually is so important for this because, well, energy. Celestials are not very happy if they don't have a bunch of energy, so he's going to dive in. A sentry post with nothing inside of it is not much of a deterrent.
No, the mech bay is a bit loose as well. I mean, he won't be able to snipe it down, but the hedgehog's going to force him away. But I like this hanging around. He's like, make me do something, right? React to it. And look at this sentry post coming up. Super Overdrive is going to be used, but it's not going to be good enough. He's going to try for a redeploy on a second sentry post. But you have to keep canceling it. Luckily, he gets all the resources back. But this is still a lot of idle time being achieved.
It is, but all the scouts, all the lancers are on the other side of the map. And again, we take a look at this. Well, first of all, you're in a healing zone, so, well, hey, Seraphim are just not taking damage from this. And a sentry post doesn't do anything. Not really. And now we're going to have this getting up repair turret. Can you burst this down? No, you cannot repair that through the repair turret. That is way too strong. But now there's no repair on the repair turret. So there are enough Seraphim right now where this actually makes a lot of sense. Now, on the other side, Mixu's not doing anything. We talked about this run by on the other side. Sorry, this raid on the other side. But with this Morph Core here, it's just not enough.
No, and it's like, this is the awkward thing I think about like playing scouts early is you just don't find the same value you do against other factions, right? Because there's not these squishy workers you can target down. And what a usage, man. Like exploiting your own opponent's health tower that he took against him like this. This is the thing I love about the new creep camps. You couldn't do this with the old, right? It's a little bit different, a little bit weirder. But this just feels so much more rewarding for aggressive players.
And remember, he's got the energy camp as well, so that just means the Seraphim their damage is lasting longer. They're getting more of it on the map, and there's a second overcharge here because we got to have a second. There has to be a second sentry post. We got to have more repairs. This is just necessary. God, I love
more
Auriel.
Posts.
This is
like,
so
why stop
good.
at 3, man? Like maybe 4? Like what? I mean, let's not wait around here, because there's more Seraphim coming, and there's gonna be less Bob soon. Repair turret now just being targeted. I mean, he just doesn't even care. It's only one hedgehog. So much resources going in to these sentry posts. And also remember, you'd think, oh, they're cheap, 100 Luminite, right? You can definitely afford extra. But the problem is, it's the idle work account. He has like 8 Bobs doing nothing but repairing.
This is so great. Now he's going to try to get on top of the mech bay as well with, hey, look, if you can prevent the only anti-air that Mixu has access to, that's a massive deal. So targeting, getting the habitat doesn't do anything. You're still 27 out of 45, and there's just no overcharge. There's the mech bay is dead. The Bobs are dead. He has to sell it to get something. There's a single hedgehog here. Mixu is so dead in this game.
He's just trying to spam
Auriel.
outposts, man. He has nothing.
This is great.
I love the pivot as well. Like, he understood Mixu was going to block him on the mid-map. He was going to raid him on the back if he got hedgehogs together. So Auriel says, duck that. Yeah, the original strategy was get some V5 rockets and send it. But who needs that? When you can just exploit your opponent for a greedy, slow switch like this. This surely has to be game. I mean, he's trying to build his base up now in the natural, but what base, right? Like, I guess he's going to try to get exos, but that's a slow process.
Yeah, I mean, granted, single Seraphim attacking this Bob in a healing zone is not really doing all that much, but it is slowly getting contested and slowly. Well, I guess there's a second Bob in it now, but you bring all the Seraphim together, they're going to be able to break this down. The healing area is not really going to be there. Now, on the other side, we have a random hedgehog that, this is single base. Let's be clear here. Auriel does not have a natural collection rate. There's nothing there. Hedgehogs, if they get this collection rate, there's no economy. So you do have to be careful about that.
The strategy is now underway.
Yes!
Catalyst has been activated. It's V5 time, baby. But you know what's better than 1 V5?
4 V5s is the answer.
4 V5s. That sounds good to me. Should we quick rotation? Come on.
Although I don't know that you need it. I understand the strat here is to get 4 V5s. This is a 1-base Vanguard player. I truly don't believe that you need to go and waste the time to make that happen.
Agreed. And it's even more than that. Like, think about it. V5s are perfect against static defenses. What's Mixu's entire strategy based on now? Static defenses. He can't move in. If he sees these V5s, he can't move out. What's he going to do? Send the Bobs?
Okay, so, I mean, this Hedgehog, these Scouts, this Lancer on the other side, that is a problem. You do have to handle that. Auriel's severely lacking in energy right now. It's not red, but it is yellow.
I think he's fine. Look at Vanguard's base. Like, he doesn't care. He's like, I've got missiles. What have you got? A dog? GG comes out. Auriel strikes back to this. No big boy creep shenanigans that we're aware of. So surely Mixu on the Vanguards it's got to be feeling a little bit more cozy for this deciding game.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But what I'm talking about, so this is game 3. This is Mixu's map pick because he lost map 2. That's kind of how the pick pans and formats are working here. And we're saying, okay, I don't think this is a Seraphim map. It's too small. You're not going to have enough time. There's no real spot that you can kind of easily proxy a Legion Hall. And yeah, in fact, we're going to see a creation chamber go down. But what I was going to say was, I think the one way you do this is you float a morph core in the center into this kind of secluded zone. It's not secluded grove, but this high ground area in the middle. And that gives you an immediate resource camp. And that is maybe how you make this work. Now, obviously not. That's not what we're seeing. That's not what we're seeing attempted here. But that is the one idea I have in terms of how this might be a thing.
So the other way this could have been played, B had a lot of success just a week ago on this map by arc ship rushing to the other side of the map. And you just drop a creation core and start spamming Argents right next to the enemy's base with power banks. Like the classic kind of Protoss experience, right? Where they just like I forget the name of the power bank type things up, right? And they just spam you with turrets. And it was really effective on this map because, as you were mentioning, this is not a big map. It's not that extra breathing room that Celestials like to play wide and also not have to worry about harassment onto the main.
Yeah, although again, remember you talk about getting aggressive with an arc station running across the map or whatever you want to do. We do have to remember that has been, or excuse me, an arc ship and leak nodes and all that shenanigans.
Sneaky git.
It has been. I was gonna say it's been nerfed and it's not as strong, but yeah. There we go. Legion Hall once.
But it's really sneaky this way because it's subtly off to the side. Like, I don't think I'm going to scan as you run up the ramp as often. So it's a bit of a gamble. He probably could have snugly put it in the corner a bit more just to lower the risk. But I get his thought process, right? Is like if he tries to float to the middle, there's a high chance a scout's going to run by and see him.
Yeah, but so remember, this is blocked off. Depending on where you put it in the scout path, even with Howl, you may not see it. I don't know. Now, what I'm looking at, though, here, this is double barracks. There's the biolab. Okay, so Exos are a possibility. This could just be for Virillium Claws, this idea that we saw Percival going for, but instead it's 4 speed. Yeah. It's 4 speed scouts and a Lancer into the main base. And this is the problem with Titan's Causeway. It is such a fast map, and already we've seen power get spent here.
Oh my god, he sees it. He sees it.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I mean, he's not even trying to block it, right? Like, you could actually clear this up. He's valuing the camps instead. That's buying more time for additional scouts. And as you mentioned, Exos should be on the way soon, right? But no, you were right. He's legit he doesn't care about the Seraphim. He's going for Virillium Claws.
Yeah, Mass Tier 2. This is a build from previous build.
I remember this one.
Mass Scout, get them all promoted. They don't die. They do much more damage than they used to. And this Legion Hull is dead. Only 2 Seraphim get out. So we talk about, well, you need anti-air. 2 Seraphim are not enough to really make the difference. Not really. They can poke over time, and that's something. But yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, like they could just run over the health camp and heal up. Well, the other thing is, like, because scouts are so fast, this is a bit like that classic go home repair with the sentry post. It's a defense in case you get attacked. But now, like, you could always just peel off the heavily injured scouts if need be and rapid repair them back at home. So he has options. This is a great position to be in. And now, Auriel, like, what are we doing here, right? We've got a second base starting to set up. No, he just goes to Legion Hall again on the low ground. I do like this, though, because he's minimized the attack points for melee units this time.
That he has. I want to say he morph cored this as well, so you're able to rebuild fairly quickly. Yeah, you surge it as well, so you kind of get that third Seraphim going up fairly quickly, and we're going to see the middle camp get taken. The downside here is we see, God, these scouts are so fast. The downside we see here, yeah, by the way, active speed buff and also double passive speed buff. These things are so insanely fast.
But I'm being attacked. I'm just going to walk past. Look at it as well. The power bank just gets melted. Easy force the defense. Hasn't got it home, though. Yeah. So we're just going to move in. That's 3 power banks, and this is a big problem now for Auriel.
Yeah, I like Auriel's build idea. The Seraphim tier 2 rush makes a lot of sense. But in this setup that we're looking at right now, on how small Titan's Causeway is, how you can't really wall off anything, it just doesn't make sense. You are too vulnerable to a mass scout. So I love Auriel. Probably, my favorite Celestial player I've seen play right now. Just these builds are so much fun. Unfortunately, when you're trying to force an idea and it doesn't work on every map, if that's what you're doing, you're playing a little cheesy. Sometimes your cheese, in fact, gets turned into fondue.
Yeah, and now because he's been starved in the air like this, right? Like that fondue is about to get, or at least what's left of it, munched up by a particular hornet in the air. We've got hangers now coming in. So like Mixu, he's basically playing the previous strat we saw, right, to counter out on game 1, just on a delay with a crafty little cherry on top with the scouts at the beginning.
Yeah, again, I really like that. These scouts are, it's funny. I don't know when you started playing in the playtests, Killer Pigeon, but this was the first map that was added in. Titan's Causeway was pre-alpha, there we go, and the entire map was predicated around who could go and take the speed camp first, because it played a little bit differently. But anyways, we see like Parting was pulling bobs and scouts, and it was just this absolute just weapons race, arms race to see who could get that enemy speed camp as quick as possible, because then you would win the game or not. And that's kind of what this game turned into. I mean, obviously not. There is more to it than that, but Mixu ran across the map, cleared the camps, got the speed camp, ran in, shut down all the energy, and I mean, Auriel 66 out of 45 here. He needs so many energy batteries that he just does not have.
And, you know, that's going to take away from scaling an army, right? And it's not just a hangar bay play, right? Like, if it was just Hornet spam, that's slow. No, it's Exos as well. So Mixu has mind, body, and soul to this comp. Like, it's a very healthy build, because now let's say Auriel switches into Argents. Let's say tries to go ground. You can just poke at him with Exos, right? They outrange, so you can kite. Like, it's a perfect situation. Although, admittedly, Exos getting caught out on the own. Not the best of situations here. Hornet's going to try spraying them down, but nice focus fire from Auriel. We'll look for the exit now. Might end up losing one. I mean, Hornets can kind of just stick on top of you here.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the speed boost, though. So the active speed boost, particularly. So they will be able to get out. Hornet doesn't quite chase down. So they do get out at the end. And man, jeez. Killer Pigeon, the water on the minimap is almost the exact same color as blue units on the minimap.
Right?
Like, it has been getting me. I'm like, what is this run by?
Why is he just standing there? Oh, but by the way, big switch up. We might get some run bys the other way. Kree now added in. This unit got nerfed fairly hard, but it's still a decent solution against an army that essentially has no real front line.
You say that, and that is kind of true, but Kree are light units. And scouts, did he get Beryllium Claws? Give me a scout. Let me find a scout on the map
He
here.
did get Beryllium, yeah. But he hasn't got many left, from what I could see.
Valid.
They got wiped. Oh, wait, no, he's got 7.
Man, this is where I want a unit stab. There we go. There. Okay. But yeah, no, certainly Seraphim. Oh, there we go. You know, you go
Hornet
take
count,
the lowest Seraphim, get that back. But yeah, these Hornet count is far too strong. Now, that being said,
the slow.
The slow, and also I don't know if he has mastery of it yet, but the spell that allows you to go and just ground these units, slam them into the ground, and just take the fight there is so nice against air units. But I guess, do we have any upgrades on the way? I don't see any. Okay, so that's tier 1, the ability to go and lift air units or lift ground units or ground air units. That's really powerful, but not really available at the moment. That being said, Auriel only down about 10 supply. Yeah, totally across the map here. Kree, Argents, a couple Cabals to make sure that you can slow and bring units to bear. He's gonna, really smart idea here. He's gonna go try to just take the health camp as quickly as possible. Mass promote on top of all these scouts to knock the Kree down. But only one Kree dies at the moment. And again, if you can force the fight right now as they're about to explode, all the scouts should just evaporate here as the Kree explode on the end. I kind of like this fight for Auriel at the start. Yes, there's a repair turret, but we're seeing these vectors start to get taken down quite a bit. We're going to see the repair turret get gunned down here. Now, there we go. Spell goes down as well. Bulwark is not, I mean, okay, sure, you're going to bulwark the scrapyard. Who cares?
What?
I guess the Hornets are enough. Okay.
This is big. The Hornets wipe it from behind. The reason that looks so scrappy is Mixu had him sitting on the other side of the map. They were returning home the entire time. But now, rejuvenates the shield, just trying to stay alive on the front side here. Auriel's got a bigger problem, though. These Vulcans can start to push him back. He needs to address that more than the Hornets now.
Yeah, he needs to split on top of this, and this repair turret on top of everything is just so important. Now, a lot of the Hornets have gone down, but both charges of that energy rejuvenation, they're gone. And that was what allowed this fight to happen. If you're able to go and just consistently hit those empowered shots, you're okay, sure. But once it's gone, it's not coming back for a while.
Can we just highlight how sick of a hold that was for Mixu? That was an all-in. Look at Auriel's supply. He's dead. He's drained.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right? it's one counter attack and done. But Mixu was just so switched on though. Like that looked so bad because he was actually hesitating. He had his Hornets sitting near the main. He was thinking about sending them into poke. And then I think he waited about 5 or 6 seconds before actually using the recall. That's why that fight looks so grim. But yeah, I think the real reason he went for the bubble on the scrapyard is he wants to stop saturation. He didn't want these units to just flood in towards the eco. So I just think he was believing that in the fight there's going to be some A-clicks on them. And as long as he holds a choke point, he forces all these units kind of to line up in front of the Vulcans for maximum damage.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. It just prevents you from opening up a concave, which is really what Auriel wanted there. And now with the Vulcan, I mean, there's nothing to repair this Vulcan. It is a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah,
Maybe
but the
that's
Hornets,
something.
though. The Hornets are scaring me right now, man. Like, you can just get kited out. He goes straight after the collection array. You can't even reach him. He can just take out the base from behind. GG gets called. Mixu continues on 2-1.